Hello, everybody. My name is Fable, and welcome to today's 12 FPS. Did I already say my name was Fable? Yes, I did. This is a great start, by the way. I'll be playing the Antlered King, or Antler, and with me today is the lovely...
Hi, my name is Magic, and I'm going to be playing Duster, a very small, nervous rat man.
who's a lovely nervous rat man. I feel you should know. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. We love this rat, and these two have been due not so much due, but they haven't really talked yet. Antler hasn't really talked to this rat that much. Uh, if anything, Antler's been mostly talking to Colin and Ruby, and Duster's been there.
that's, uh, that's just kind of how Duster is.
Yeah, I love Duster. I love
He's,
Duster. I want this boy to have attention that he is comfortable with having.
oh, so you mean none at all. Any,
We will socialize this rat. I swear to God, we will socialize this rat. So, which is the purpose of today's 12 FPS, which takes place. If none of you have listened to my games, the Ruined All Rambles, I'd recommend you watch that because I mean, won't really have super spoilers, but like if you, it helps to have context for stuff, I guess.
yeah.
But in any case, this FPS will be taking place actually the day of the festival game, which was just our last game, but it will be taking place after the main events of the festival. Colin and Ruby and Oliver, they are currently at the. They decided to stay at the festival for the rest of the day and spend some of their quote unquote winnings, stolen money, spend it on some carnival rides, some games, and all that jazz.
Hey, we got some of that money fairly.
Some of it, some of
Some of
it.
it.
I know it. Listen. Most of it, no. Because I guarantee you the money Antler got was not, he did not get that fairly. I promise you that. Uh, but anyways, so while Colin and Ruby are having their fun at the festival, Antler has decided to head back to Ruindal. Because, it's been a day, and he's kind of already spent it having to, in his mind, clean up after their mess at the festival. So he's just gonna go back and maybe go to the library and read up on some books. He's managed to fill out the library a little bit more with books he's acquiesced from the little corner library. Very kindly acquiesced, I should say. Uh,
Also stolen.
Maybe you can't prove any. You can't prove anything. The tags aren't on the. There aren't any tags on these books, so you can't prove anything. Uh,
Man, we're just stealing from this library like all the time, huh?
yeah. The librarian in this library at this point has gotten really confused and has no idea where these books are going because no one's really tried to steal from the library. I don't know, maybe once or twice, but like. Anyways, a little bit off. A little bit off topic. A topic for another day, perhaps. Uh,
Sorry.
that said, Ruby's disguised self is absolutely on the band sheet for the library. Should say that. So this FPS is going to be starting with Antler going through the library, perusing some of the books. He's read most of them. He doesn't sleep at night, so he's just been, but he may as well freshen up on a couple details. He's still learning a lot about the current history of Gisnip and Inkwell. So that's what he's doing.
Uh, hey, Antler, do you want to roll a perception check?
Why, certainly. I'll be gladly roll perception. Is this the right character sheet? Yes, it is.
This is the right character sheet.
I have two versions of Antler's character sheets for reasons.
That was the wrong stealth modifier. Never mind, that was the right stealth modifier for the wrong sheet. I had a different character sheet right in front of me, and I went, yeah, that makes sense. So I Yeah.
It's a 10.
Okay, Antler, you hear one of the books fall over, but like as soon as you look, there is nothing there. But it's like across the library.
Hmm. Antler will slowly walk over. He's not too surprised that a book fell over. Maybe it'd be a bit. It would be odd if it weren't for the fact that the library itself is pretty dilapidated as the rest of the ruins. He really needs to fix this place up. But he will walk over and pick up the book and look to see where it fell from and try and put it back.
It fell from, I wouldn't say one of like the highest shelves. It's around like face level to you.
Eye level.
But
Okay.
uh it's very odd because like these books weren't just like placed on there, they were actually like put against the wall. And this one, it's like there's an obvious gap where it looks like it was pushed out.
Hmm. Antler gives another hum. Uh, and he'll slowly slide the book back in all the way to the back.
Alright, I'm gonna roll another stealth check just to see how my boy is doing. That is a 7.
It's a 7.
That is a 7. Uh, Antler, there is not a book falling off the shelf, but just falling over, like, 2 shelves above you, and you just hear a little shit.
Antler, just care to tell me what you're doing there?
uh, do you see Duster? Do you, like, look at Duster, and you just keep looking at the shelf?
Well, how high is the shelf above Antler?
It's just, like, 2 shelves up.
2 shelves. I would
You
say
could probably...
2 shelves up. If he's right, I think he takes like a step back so that way he's able to see better on the shelf. So that way he can see Duster.
Uh, luckily Duster does not fall off the shelf. But like he comes awfully close to it and he's just like, hi, hi, what?
Hello.
Hey, boss.
Care to tell me what you're doing there?
I, I'm looking for something.
I would assume it's a book you're looking for.
No, it's not a book. I don't, I can't find it. Have you seen a music box?
A what?
A music box. It's around, and like at this point, Duster is sort of pacing, and it's about this big, and it's mostly it doesn't have a lot of color to it. It's mostly just black. But have you seen it?
Is it important?
Do you want to roll insight?
I'm gonna roll insight, but I also want to roll history at some point just to see if Antler has seen it. But for now, I'm just gonna roll insight.
Yeah.
21. This old man sees all.
Duster looks kind of defensive for a moment. Like, he doesn't know if he should tell you how important this object probably is.
Antler can understand that.
A bit, yeah.
And you thought to look for it in a library.
I can't find it. I looked where I left it and it wasn't there. And
Where did you leave it?
I thought I left it in Ruby's hideout, but I looked everywhere there. It wasn't there at all.
Did you think perhaps Ruby could have picked it up?
No, I don't. Ruby doesn't look in my section of the hideout. I don't think she would take it.
Roll insight.
What is my insight? Oh. 19.
19. You see Antler his hood kind of move to the side as if he's looking elsewhere in a sense of, oh, he highly doubts that. He's had the, and actually, Duster, you could probably recall a couple times maybe hearing Antler yell or something, as he's quite often found Ruby, spying around or, messing with, Antler has banned Ruby from his room. That does not stop Ruby from trying to get into Antler's room and mess with his stuff. So, Duster, you get the sense that Antler doesn't really, trust that Ruby would respect your space. Or your belongings.
I don't think it's worth anything. It's not. It means a lot to me, but it's not worth taking. I don't. It's.
Children have a habit of picking up knickknacks, whether they are of value or not.
I don't think she took it. It's.
I'm gonna roll history now just to see if Antler has seen it. Or if he would have an idea of where it might be. 13! I don't think he's seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antler thinks, does take that moment to ponder for a moment, but then he looks back up at you, Dustin, and goes, well, if it matters, I have not seen your music box, though I very much doubt it is in here either, since I have not seen you in here as of late.
Well, that's mostly because I don't go places where you are. But...
Antler actually chuckles a little bit at that. I intimidate you, then. I am not offended if you say yes. That's the whole point of my design, is to be intimidating.
Look, you're very tall. That's mostly it.
My height is what disturbs you?
Yes! How would you feel if you met someone, I don't know, 20 times the height of you?
I would think they are a giant and hope they don't step on me.
Exactly!
Though, if I'm not mistaken, you are quite adept at climbing. And you are quick underfoot, as I would think all rats are.
Yeah, but there's... Look, tinies aren't meant to be seen like this.
Tinies?
Duster has fully frozen up. Like, oh shit.
Should I roll insight again?
Sure.
25. Oh, nat 20!
What do you wanna know, Antler?
Just like... He doesn't quite know what tinies are, but I guess... I don't know, he kind of just wants to know why this guy... His... Antler is having a suspicion that his height is not the only reason, Duster is scared of him. And the mention of tinies does pique his curiosity. I guess, is it obvious that Duster doesn't want to talk about it or not?
It's obvious that Duster is kind of internally panicking because, like, oh shit, I just mentioned tinies. Like, you get a feeling that's not a thing you're supposed to talk about, especially with bigger people. And he doesn't particularly want to talk about it. But if you pressed, he'd probably tell you, mostly because he's very intimidated.
Alright. Well, okay. Antler, I guess, looks at Duster's reaction for a bit, takes it in. I'll admit, you've piqued my curiosity. What are these tinies?
Um, well, I,
I imagine they are not just toons that are small.
that's exactly what we are. We're just toons who are small.
That's it.
Small, there's, it's a bit more complicated.
Antler
People,
gestures a hand for you to go on.
uh, hold on, how do I explain this? Uh, okay, uh, so I am a tiny, uh, usually, uh, tinies, I am far above average for a tiny. I, I'm, at this height, I'm barely considered a tiny anymore. It's a strange range between small and tiny. Most tinies are around 3 inches to 4 inches in height.
I am aware of toons that are of that size, but you speak of it as if you are not supposed to speak of it.
I Tinies typically live in places where other people do without them knowing. Um, we it's hard to make it's hard to make things when you're this small. So there's been developed a system of retrieving items that people as large as you tend to forget about and taking it for our own purposes of building, housing, protection. Uh, Usually we do this without Biggs knowing because it's very easy to be taken advantage of.
Understandable, I suppose.
Uh, I, I I do know that there are some tiny tiny groups who are out in the open that work together with the Bigs they live with, but for most people it's too big of a risk. Uh,
Are there any other tinies that live here in the ruins?
if there are, I haven't met them,
Hmm.
which is understandable. You can roll insight on that if you want to.
I'm gonna do it. Antler's curious enough. That's a 6.
6.
Never mind, he does.
No.
Never mind, he doesn't care.
Uh, I I haven't met any other tinies here.
Hmm. Would you inform me if you have?
Um uh, hmm. I am tempted to have him roll deception, but that is also a 6 from your previous roll, which is a nat 1.
I think in this case, Antler would just add on. Dusta, was it?
Uh yeah.
If you intend to live here, and if you do meet any of these tinies, the ruins are going to be renovated soon, which means walls will get knocked down. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If I prefer to be in the know. Do well to remember that. But I also speak in the interest of these tinies. They are more likely to get hurt if they are not made aware of things changing here.
They are here. I haven't met them.
Hmm.
Not surprised at that fact, but I don't know. Sorry. This isn't
It's fine. Shall I let you go return to your search?
I um uh Duster had calmed down a little bit by being forced to talk about tinies, but like he's like holding his, like the thing when you like hold your arms nervously. It's just like, I, this is. Could you help me look for it? I, I've, it's, the ruins are very big, and I'd prefer to find it sooner rather than later.
Roll insight.
8.
8. You see him stare at you. You see the blackness of his hood just stare at you, Duster, before it turns to the library and looks at the... There are more books, but still not a lot. And it's still pretty dilapidated. And he just sighs. Well, a king does not usually go scrounging around for his subjects' items, but I suppose I have nothing better to do with my time for now. And he will raise up his staff to you on the shelf as a sort of like get on.
Duster sort of hesitantly gets on the staff.
He will Antler will then move the staff over to the fluff of his coat.
Duster just pauses for a moment before transferring to the fur collar.
Duster, you will note that it is that despite the fact that you have a you're a rat, you have a strong enough sense of smell. Antler up to this point has definitely smelled of old and dusty. But that said, the coat itself is quite clean and soft.
Huh.
But with that done, Antler will take a look around the library. And how often are you in here?
Not often.
So likely it is not here. And Antler will start heading towards the exit.
Okay.
And I'm thinking... Beside... Other than Ruby's little hideout, where else would you have left your music box?
I've made a few nooks around the place just to store items I find, just in case they're useful.
Have you checked them yet?
No, I haven't. The library was the closest to Ruby's hideout.
Point the way, then.
Fable, I haven't actually told you about the ideas I have for the various nooks that Duster has.
Do tell me. Tell me, I want to know.
Okay. There's probably I will say, there is definitely one in the dungeon area.
Ooh.
Look, he's small enough, he can just go through bars.
Nope, I am glad you brought that up. So I guess, is the dungeon gonna be the first nook that that Duster leads Antler to?
I'm thinking, I think, let's see, where is the dungeon?
If you're just coming in from the entrance of the ruins, the way to the dungeon area, would be to the left hallway, past the pitfall trap, as well as a spiked wall trap just ahead of it, and then a small stairway down that leads straight to it.
I think he would stop Duster at the spike pit trap and just disappear into the spikes for a moment.
Antler would take a good look at the Actually, hold on. No, I need to. I'm gonna roll some. I'm gonna roll something real quick. Because Antler has to walk over that floorboard that's been put over. That it's still just a single board, so it's still not technically safe. 18. Antler manages to get across. Good. I don't have to worry about this old man falling into a pit.
We're gonna have to walk back the other way, though.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Literally. But he does take a look at the spike trap because that wasn't there before. Last he recalls, he hasn't got a chance to look at that yet.
Duster had slipped off of Antler at some point to go into the spike pet trap on the floor, and I'm imagining it's like one of those spike pit traps where like you look at the bottom, but all you see is spikes and darkness. So you could probably roll like a perception check.
Yeah.
To see if you see the bottom of the pit.
Does he? I don't know. He doesn't have. Wait, Antler, do you have dark vision? You don't.
Don't have dark vision.
But he has 22 in but he just rolled a 22 in perception, so.
Yeah. You can. It's a bit dark, but like you can see the bottom, and in one of the corners, there is what seems to be just a pile of what looks. It's strange. It's a mixture of some sort of foliage and cloth, and Duster has like gone over to it and like dug through it and came back out with like probably like a needle and just kind of like shaking his head and then climbed back out of the pit.
You do realize that's going to get filled eventually.
Yeah, I'll move it soon.
And Antler will start heading further in to the hallway towards the small set of stairs that leads down to the dungeons. Now, a quick thing I want to say about the dungeons. The stairway that goes down leads to just like a small open room with a incredibly rotted table that's fallen over. There are old rusty chains hanging from the walls, as well as more there is actually no, there wouldn't be foliage down here because not really a lot of sunlight even gets down here, but it's old.
Yeah.
It's old. It's creepy looking. I think though once they get down there to a spot where definitely no sunlight gets, Antler's going to cast dancing lights, and now 4 orbs of light are floating around Antler's head.
Alright, you don't have dark vision.
No, unfortunately, that's an ability I lost.
Lost?
Unfortunately, I lost many things when being revived.
Wait, aren't you undead?
Yes, but not with all the perks I would hope for.
That makes sense.
A gift from my most generous. Ah, man. See, Antler can pronounce things. Fable cannot. From my most generous patron.
I don't quite know what that means.
Do you know what a patron is?
I'm gonna roll religion to see if Duster knows what the fuck a patron is. It's been a while,
No,
and I don't know if he's met. That's a +1. I don't know if he's met any. That's a 5.
That's a 5. He hasn't. So Antler just sighs and says, "A patron can be either a deity or a person of great power that is able to bestow power onto others." Are you understanding?
Duster kind of like thinks for a moment. Oh, so you're like those storyboarder guys. Got it. Okay.
The what?
They're It's a religious group of tinies? I don't get it. I've met them
I
once
am
or twice.
I am hardly a religious type.
Oh,
I am I am how you would say under an unfortunate deal at the moment.
uh,
Antler will continue walking down the hallway. He sent the orbs of light down the long hallway now, and on each side there are open doorways with rusted prison doors on on each side. At the very end of the hallway, however, there is a cave-in. And Duster, you've not been able to find any. This is this caved in wall. You've not yet been able to find any sort of nook or cranny to get past yet.
yeah. Duster's going to uh slip off of Antler at the last cell near the cave-in, and just step in between the bars and go to the back where like there's a crack in the wall, but you wouldn't, based on the size of the crack, it's very narrow. You wouldn't imagine he'd be able to fit in, but he's a UPAan, so he just goes flat into the wall.
Hmm. Antler
Like the
tilts
flat JPEG he is.
Antler tilts his head with some interest to that. Cause
And
a tiny rat who can fit into even tinier spaces.
yeah,
That'll be of use in the near future, I'm sure.
and there's a moment where it's just Antler with these prison cells.
And Antler probably takes a moment to just look around. Probably hits the rusted door with his staff a little bit just to see how bad it is. And actually, because of that, I'm gonna make a roll for the door.
Roll for the door.
It's a 10. I'd say that's bad enough that it is so rusted and old that literally Antler just gives it a knock and it just crumples into red dust.
uh Duster makes his way back out, and he it's probably a very tight squeeze in there, because he comes back out and he sort of ruffles his head a bit, and there's a little bit of debris in it. And it's just nope, it's not in there.
Mm.
Oh God.
Have you checked your hammer space?
I I left it. I don't think I brought it with me. And I
Check.
was actually gonna make a custom fumble chart before I came here, but I forgot about it. But is it okay if I just say some of the things I imagined
Yeah.
on his fumble chart?
Yeah, go nuts.
Okay. So he reaches behind into his cloak, into the very hard shading that is there. It's all black, and he pulls out just like a screw. He goes, nope. And he just kind of sets that off to the side. He reaches in, uh, pulls out a very small, crumpled up piece of paper and just goes, nope, nope, not that. Puts it back in. Reaches in again. Pulls out a feather. It's very small. It's probably one of the smallest feather Antler's ever seen, but it has this iridescent blue tint at the end of it, and goes, nope, nope, not that either.
I think Antler's actually kind of. On any other day, this would be a waste of his time, but I think he's actually kind of amused by this. I'm sorry, Antler's a jerk.
Duster reaches in again, and his hands are empty, but his entire arms are just black silhouette shading. There is no design on them at all. It's just a black silhouette, and goes, oh, damn it. Okay.
Is that ink?
Uh, no, it's something that happens sometimes when I reach into hammer space.
Should I be concerned about it?
Um, no, it's fine.
Gonna roll insight. Gonna roll insight on that to see if it actually is fine. That's a 25. That's a nat 20. You have to tell me, magic, is it fine?
Yeah, it's completely cosmetic,
Okay.
but
I can't believe
uh,
I rolled a nat 20 on that.
do you, uh, I should probably give you some. It's a nat 20. I don't. What else could I give you with
I
that?
mean, if
Because
it's.
there's a specific reason that it
I
happens.
mean, if it's a design thing. If it's if it's like a cosmetic like design thing, I think Antler could probably, and Antler knows and Antler has pretty good he knows plenty about different tunes and their different styles and some effects that, you know, gags and whatnot that could happen uh to a tune style when they do something enough. So,
Yeah. Okay. Um, Duster is completely hard shaded. If you've seen things like Darkest Dungeon, I can't remember any other names right now because I'm bad. Uh,
pat pat.
but if you've seen games like that, all of the shading isn't like cell shading or anything. It's just pure black shadows. And it being like this, where it's not like his hands are out in the open, they're not shaded at all. There's like light hitting it, but there's nothing there. Isn't typically normal.
Not normal but not bad.
Yeah.
Hmm. Curiosity for another time then. For now, though, Antler feels like they've been here for long enough and is probably actually gonna start going without, gonna start walking without Duster. Just be like, well, come along then. If it isn't here, where else could it be?
Um. Uh, uh, and I'm just gonna roll to see what Duster's decision is. What should I roll for this?
D2? Flip a coin?
Yeah, D2. That's a 2. There's one other place I can think of. Uh,
Where?
uh, uh, Duster is very hesitant. Very hesitant.
Either either tell me or don't, but quit wasting my time.
Uh,
Very well. If you no longer require my assistance, and Antler will start walking.
um, uh, I think if Antler's just walking away, Duster's. I feel like Duster lets him
Hmm.
just because, like, because
I think in that case, something happens. The as you two as the two have been talking, the dancing lights that have still been floating around have kind of just been uh the little orbs of light have been wandering around the dungeon area, lighting up just different areas. There's been one that's stuck with Antler just so he can see, but the other three have been kind of wandering around. But as Antler's been starting to leave, the orbs kind of cluster together a bit. One of them stays. One of them. Sorry, no, they don't cluster together. I apologize. Um, one of them stays with you, Duster, for a little bit, watching you, or it feels like it's watching you. And as Antler is about to turn the corner, that same little orb comes zipping through right into his face. He goes, what? What is it now? And and Duster, if you listen, you can hear like a little dingling sound. Nothing you can understand, but
Uh,
Antler stares at this little orb of light before raising a hand and in an annoyed fashion just swipes it out of his way before he sighs. And he slowly turns back and starts walking towards you.
uh, I. It's in the mines.
The what?
Um, there's like a cavernous area below the ruins. It's in there.
Show me.
Okay. And Duster's very hesitant because for a second, Duster's like half considering climbing back up the staff.
I mean, Antler sees the hesitance and slowly offers the staff for him to climb up.
All right. Yeah, Duster climbs back up the staff and probably back into the fur coat lining. It's just like, okay, do you remember where the the dragon was?
Without a word, Antler will start walking.
Yeah.
He'll head back up the stairs. Oh, I need to roll, because he's gonna go up to that board again over the spike pit. Let's see how this old man do. 14. It's very wobbly. It's a very wobbly walk over those boards, but I like to think a 14 just makes it.
I don't know how you guys walk over those.
And that is why we are getting the pits filled.
Filled with what?
I suppose they'll fill it up with stones and get rid of the spikes. And again, without another word, I'm sorry. I wish Antler was more talkative, but
Duster's not talkative at all. He's
yay! They're both antisocial. Lovely. Anyways, Antler's gonna head back towards the throne room. And since you mentioned the dragon, he's gonna go behind the throne to where the tiny little alcove that the dragon had made for itself in Travel in Tombs, the very first game.
I'm trying to remember if this is the right path because I honestly don't remember.
Well,
I
Duster,
think it's the right path.
I can go ahead and tell you, Duster, that the little alcove behind the throne is not the way into the mines. The way into the mines is actually off to the left, on the wall, left of the throne.
Yeah. Before we go into the alcove, then like Duster will pull a bit and like motion to the left.
And they'll go, and he will go to the wall, and then he will stare at it and go, correct me if I am wrong, but usually mine entrances have an entrance.
Oh, right. You're not small. Right.
Is there
There's.
is there
I don't.
room behind this wall?
Yeah.
Cool. Antler's going to take a couple steps back. He's going to lift up. He's going to lift up his staff towards the wall. And Duster, you get to watch as the tip of his staff starts sparking with sickly green magical energy. And give me a sec. I don't think I need to roll to hit a wall.
It's a wall?
It's a wall. It's a wall, and this is a ruin, so I'm just gonna take the DM reins and say that you watch as Antler lets off a eldritch blast at the wall with a and it hits the wall with a boom, a very loud boom that probably shakes the walls a little bit. Uh, and if you and as the magic fades, you see that it's only left like a hole in the wall. But then a few minutes later, slowly you start to see the stones start to crumble bit by bit, until and suddenly there is a conveniently antler-sized entrance now in the wall.
Uh,
There.
what? How? What?
Is there a problem?
How did I don't wait? What the fuck did you just do?
Magic. I am a wizard. And a warlock, but... Have you not seen magic before?
I... Not like that!
Well then... well then you will have much more to learn and see then. In the coming days, at least. And Antler will start to head towards the entrance, see that it is dark as heck in there, and once more cast dancing lights, and send the orbs on ahead.
I didn't think about this. You might not want to take the bridge. I don't think it's safe. I never take the bridge.
What I see. Antler takes a good look at the bridge, takes a good look at the water. Give me a second, I'm gonna see what he has.
I can do...
Actually, wait, Antler does have something he can use.
Look, you don't have to go any further. I can look by myself. If you're probably busy.
As a matter of fact, I'm not. And this is a part of the ruins I have yet to see. And without another word, hey, Duster, I'm really sorry. You're gonna feel a bit woozy in a second. As Antler doesn't say I can't carry any people with Misty Step. So Antler's gonna cast Misty Step and just teleport across the bridge to the other side. And circumnavigate the rickety bridge. Let's just say it gets foggy for a minute, and the next thing you know, you're on the other side of the bridge.
How in the hell?
As I said, magic. And Antler, he keeps one of the floating orbs by him to illuminate, and then he keeps the other 3 ahead of him so that way he can see the path ahead. And he will keep walking.
I will mention it's strange you don't have dark vision.
Yes, I did once. Back before when I was, well, whatever counts as living for a lich.
I thought all undead had dark vision.
Most do, but for some reason I do not. Yes.
No. It must be something with Toon Undead then. I don't.
That is a possibility. Something I intend to find out later, but for now, this is what and he gestures to the glowing orbs. This will have to make do. And so as he continues walking, Duster, I imagine you I as the person who knows what's down this mine shaft,
yeah.
know what you are currently concerned about, which is which is the because at the very end of this mine hallway leads into a big cavern where the little dragon called Love that you fought in Travel in Tombs is currently nesting with the skeleton of
Yeah,
its mother. And
I think I think Duster's going to like stop Antler before they go into the cavern. It's just like, could you wait here a moment? I
why?
uh
Gonna
uh
I'm just gonna roll some insight. Don't mind me. Do do do. 14. Do I get anything with 14?
uh you get that that Duster's nervousness has increased probably twofold because it looks like he just realized something.
And Antler sees this, and you get the air of a suspicion has been sent your way. And
I,
what are you
I
hiding?
nothing. It's just there's uh, there's there's something there. I don't uh, look look.
I'm gonna.
You're not. Your arm literally fell off when you picked up 2 bags of gold. I I don't I don't I don't think you have that much HP.
Uh, I'm just gonna roll something real quick. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna get off my desk. I'm trying to do some stuff here, please. 12. No, I don't think a 12 does it. Antler. That was an intelligence check to see if Antler could put together the suspicion, the why you mentioned the dragon earlier, and fortunately, it's 12. I don't think that's quite enough, but he is a little offended that your reasoning is for his hit points. But and what
Look,
and what does my general health have to do with what lies ahead?
uh, um, uh,
You would do well not to hide things from me, rat. And he is now looming a bit.
uh,
There's a
look, Antler, you don't even need to try. Like, he is very much considering just jumping off right now.
Antlers. Really? He really wants to use the fear tactic here. But he can see that it's probably just gonna make this rat run away. So Antler's gonna take a breath, and the darkness that was increasing around him slowly fades.
I just, could you stay here for a moment? Uh, I need to check something.
Fine.
And,
Under one condition.
yeah,
You do not tell me where I can or cannot go. So the next time I decide to come down here, you will not stop me. Is that understood?
uh, uh, yeah.
Go on then. And Antler waves you off.
Uh, Duster's going to slip down and practically bolt into the darkness past Antler. He has dark vision, so he's completely fine. But he's going to instantly check for Love,
Uh,
just to see if the small dragon is here. So you can possibly tell the small dragon, "Hey, uh,
uh, so you,
uh."
so you go in. It's not difficult. Love kind of since there are other little holes that go farther into the ground, and some go up. Love does occasionally leave through other exits to take it to higher ground to go catch food.
Yeah,
But other than that, Love likes to spend their time in the little nest surrounded by the skeleton of their mother, which is still a very big dragon skeleton.
Yeah.
Uh, and currently, Love is curled up in their little nest, just taking a little snooze.
Oh God, he doesn't want to wake Love up. Oh God.
They're just a cute baby dragon, just snoozing away. I say baby, but compared to you, Duster, they're huge.
Duster's regretting his life choices right now, watching the small dragon.
And the dragon is still just snoozing away. And Antler is kind of grumpy over at the entrance.
Duster. Oh God, I actually know where the music box is. Me as magic, and this is hilarious to me right now.
Why?
It's not here. That's why.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's not here.
So I'm just imagining Duster just scurrying around the nest area as quickly as possible and not finding any sign of his.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say roll a stealth.
14?
Yeah, 14 just does it. You managed to sneak around without waking Love up. There's a moment where where you hear Love breathe deeply, almost as if waking up, but instead the baby dragon just rolls over onto its back. Its tongue lolls out.
God damn
It's just having a very nice dream of eating small rabbits.
it.
But otherwise, Love is left undisturbed.
Alright. Duster comes back to Antler and goes, It's not here. And I'm sorry for wasting your time.
I would be lying if I said my patience was not wearing thin.
I will say, if you do come back here, just be careful.
You care to tell me what I should be careful of?
There's, do you know that dragon?
Roll insight.
5.
5. Yeah, you just see Antler standing there. You get the impression that if I will say that just for the fun of it, you have the impression that if Antler were that kind of tune, a light bulb would be going off over his head, or there'd be just like that clicking sound of the pieces coming together. But unfortunately, Antler is not that kind of tune. He is not that kind of cartoony tune. But it's definitely just clicked, and he's staring at you. He's not saying anything, but he is staring at you, and then he's slowly looking back towards the darkness inside, and just goes, "How long has it been there?"
Duster, wait, hold on. Does Duster know how to conventionally?
Does Duster know how to what?
He spends a lot of time indoors. And also has problems sleeping. So I don't know if he knows how long it's been.
Ah, okay. Antler does not wait for an answer. I think what Antler's gonna do.
Look, they're not causing any harm here. It's also where I've been dumping most of my gold. I don't I don't need it. It-
Antler thinks about that. And I think what he's going to do is... Antler's going to quietly take steps away from the entrance into the cave. Further back into the quote-unquote hallway, mineshaft thing, whatever you call it. And then he will gesture to you, Duster, to follow him.
Duster does.
And let's see, I have a funky little spell
Oh.
and a funky little feat that helps me shape it to how I would like.
Oh. People! People! People, what are you doing?
So, Antler is once more going to hold his staff out towards the the entrance.
Wait, what are you doing?
And without a word, he is going to tap his staff into the ground, and suddenly, Duster, you hear it, you feel it as the earth starts to tremble, as Antler has just casted Earth Tremor.
What? What?
And luckily, he has a funky little feat called Sculpt Spells, so one, you are not taking damage from it, but just for flavor, he is focusing the spell on the entrance of this cavern, and you watch as it shakes and shakes, and the dirt and some stones above start coming loose and start filling up the pathway until it is blocked closed.
What?
I cannot have a fledgling dragon running loose in my castle. And without another word, Antler's gonna turn around and walk back towards the throne room.
Would Antler care to roll an insight on Duster as soon as he said that?
I'll go ahead and... 7. No, Antler doesn't care. He turned around. He doesn't care about your opinion on this matter. He's gonna walk back to the bridge. He's gonna cast Misty Step one more time to get across. And then head back into the throne room. And he assumes you're following him, though.
Duster's not.
Oh.
He's staring at this entrance. Duster's half relieved that it's caved in, but half worried and panicked because, oh boy, that's a lot of complicated feelings. But Duster does not follow after Antler leaves.
Oh.
Instead, he looks at the rubble pile and begins to plan a way through it for at least him.
Oh. I think with how I'm gonna say that if you want a way back into that cave, this caved-in entrance will not be it. Anytime you try digging a small hole, more dirt just falls and covers it back up. Hello?
I'm sorry. Duster's emotions are getting to me personally.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I said the angst would be mild, but I was just like, how's Antler gonna handle this situation? He's not nice enough yet to... And he can't go in to fight a dragon either. As much as Antler hates to admit it, Duster's right. Antler's not strong enough to deal with a dragon, even a baby one. So the best he could do is make sure it's discouraged from going into the ruins.
I feel like after this, oh boy, after this event in particular, Duster is probably looking nonstop for a way into that cave.
Oh man. Now I have a question. Where is the music box?
Oh, this is gonna be a dramatic piece of irony. It's back in Ruby's nook, exactly where he left it
Oh
the entire time.
my god.
He was too emotional from anxiety. He he looked everywhere in there, but during his initial search, he passed over it completely. It's
Oh.
still in his nook, right where he left it, right inside the blankets. It's still there.
Oh, and I imagine
If
what
he ever left.
and I imagine it's gonna be longer before Duster finds it, considering what Antler just did.
Yeah, and I think especially Antler does not see Duster at all.
No. No, he doesn't.
Oh, oh, I will mention after the FPS what you would have gotten with that insight roll.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I think uh I don't know how to fix
Sorry,
this.
folks.
I don't know how to fix this.
There will be a fix at some point.
There will be
Sure
a
ain't
fix.
now.
There will be a fix at some point for this, but with where these characters are, and
There
where
ain't
Antler is,
Your actions have consequences.
yeah, you'll find that out later. But I think that's the. I think Duster probably won't find out until Ruby comes back to the. I imagine Ruby would come back to the ruins, realize Duster's not in his little nook, and probably. I imagine she would go and try and find out where he is.
Yeah, Duster is 100% looking for another way into that tunnel. Probably going upwards first, because there are tunnels upwards, and then trying to make his way back down.
Oh, there are for sure other ways back into that. I think it's just going to take Duster a little while to find them.
Yeah,
But there are other ways into the cavern. And you know what? Just so to ease Duster's consciousness a little bit at the end of this, when he finally does get in, uh, uh, Love was woken up by by the entrance getting blocked in, uh, and wasn't really that concerned. More just surprised and confused because what loud noise? What happened? Why did that happen? But you know, it didn't trap Love in there, so Love wasn't
yeah,
immediately concerned.
yeah.
Happy to see Duster though.
Oh,
Look,
boy.
it's tiny friend.
I don't know if you want to roll insight for the dragon,
I'm gonna
but
roll insight for the dragon.
a
1.
1.
Love is just very happy to see you, Duster.
Love is probably also very confused by this small rat doing the best to like hug Love as hard as he can.
Oh, oh, Duster. I mean, Love's a bit confused, but has no problem with just wrapping around this small little rat. They don't understand, but they're happy to see Duster, and and they haven't felt physical affection in I don't want to say how long because that's sad, but they're happy for physical affection.
All right. Uh,
So I think
you want to end off the FPS?
yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. With Duster and Love just hugging, um, and Antler heading back towards the library. Though I will say that he does pause at the library entrance and does have one look back towards the now opened up wall in the throne room.
Yeah.
He gives it one look. He's quiet. And then he just heads back up to the library.
Oh boy. All right.
And thank you everyone for listening to this 12 FPS, this terrible, no good, very bad day. If it's alright with you, Magic, I think I'm gonna go ahead and
Uh,
end the recording. Unless there's something else you want to say.
no, no, I'm gonna stop. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.